Yeah, youth work was really important to me. I came back from university to Shetland back in the late 70s, it would have been, or 1980, thereabouts. And I got involved with the Sandwick Youth Club at the time as just a part-time youth worker. It started off with badminton because I was really interested in that, but then it quickly developed into being a youth worker in the youth club, and I just found it such a great experience when you were helping and working with young folk under their terms. They were coming there voluntarily, they were enjoying what they were doing. At that time there was a fair amount of support available for the council in terms of funding and that kind of thing, so we were able to do a lot, and the young folk really appreciated it. I think they got a lot with big attendances at the youth clubs in those days. I would say nearly every young person at Sandwick was a member of the youth club, and that was really important because that brought everybody together. They had a range of things that they could do, so not everybody took part in everything, and you built up relationships that I think to this day are still long-standing. You still meet young folk that say, "You mind when we did such and such in the youth club," and that brings back really happy memories. So that was my first involvement, and that led on to me getting an opportunity with the council to be a trainee community worker. So that took me into a slightly different role, because then you're supporting youth workers a bit better. So I'd stopped being a youth worker per se, but you were still supporting youth workers. So we had a good going youth club network in the South End at Shetland. We took part in Shetland Association Youth Club activities. I was involved with going away with youth club members from across Shetland on the Easter trips and things like that. So you got to the mainland, there was the competitions on the mainland. So a whole heap of stuff going on that was really good to be able to support. So as I say, it developed from being an actual youth worker to more supporting, recruiting, training and all that kind of stuff. So that was really good. Really, it's probably, if I look back, the most worthwhile job I ever had, the one you get most satisfaction for, because I think what you're doing is really appreciated by the young folk. They really value it, and I think, maybe we've lost something. Yeah, it's hard to pick a best experience. I suppose at the time, being absolutely honest, there would be some nights that you'd think, oh no, do I have to go out to the youth club again? Because it might be something else that you were wanting to do, or it might be a poor night. But as soon as you got there and you started engaging with the young folk, and you could see their, I suppose, enthusiasm, and just the fact that there was something there for them on their own terms. You shouldn't forget about anything else that was going on, and you got stuck into it. I mentioned earlier some of the things like the youth club trips away. They were highlights. I mean, they were full on. I mean, you had to be concentrating the whole time you were away, because you were in charge of that young folk, and you, as well as trying to give them a good time, you had that responsibility. So they were highlights, but there's so many different things, and it's the pity things. It is, as I said, as well about folk just coming to you years later and saying, "Do you mind when we did such and such?" and that makes it all worthwhile. So I wouldn't say there was any particular highlights that I would want to single out for anything else. It was just a good experience that I think lots of folk have been involved in youth work over the years, and I'm sure, speaking to friends and relations that have been involved in youth work, everybody sees it as being something that's really valuable and really pleasant to have been involved in. Young folk are, it's the cliche, young folk are the future, but they are. And if we don't give young folk the opportunity to reach their potential, then I think we're failing, not just the young folk, but we're failing ourselves, we're failing society. Now, there's a lot of emphasis put on what happens in school, but if we actually think about it, young folk spend far more of their time out of school. And the learning isn't just the preserve of schools, it's happening in all different settings at all different times. And youth work, where you're engaging with young folk on their terms at the time and at the place that they want to be, you've got a good head start there because they've chosen to come. So if we didn't seize that opportunity and learn for ourselves as well, for young folk. It's not a one-way street. It's not about older folk, adults, young folk learning for them. We can learn for young folk the same. So there's a lot of reward, there's a lot of value in it. I was at an awards ceremony the other night, and I said that if we provide the opportunities for young folk to fulfil their potential, they will shine bright. They will take that on, and for that, our futures will be bright as well. They will absolutely shine if they get that opportunity, and youth work is one of the most important vehicles for that. Now, there's a lot more now about focused and targeted work, and that's important as well, because there are young folk that don't get opportunities in the same way as others maybe do, and I think it's important that we provide that extra support to those young folk so that they can fulfil their potential. And that can happen in many different ways. It might be that outwardly it seems that a young person is achieving and doing really well, but inwardly they might be lonely, they might be other issues that really, when they're in school, they're maybe doing okay academically, but there's other socialising issues that youth work can really help with. And I think we've got to keep an eye out for all our young folk. Every young person has some developmental need that youth work can actually get to the bottom of and can help. So it's not just targeting on ones that we might think obviously are in need, but actually understanding and being there for all young folk. I think 2018 has been a good year in terms of that youth voice being heard. It needs to be listened to. So yes, we hear what young folk are saying, what do we actually do about it? And I've always said, whenever I've been asked about Year of Young People, yes, it's good to have an official Year of Young People, but actually every year should be about listening to young folk and taking actions to try and ensure that their voice is heard, but also that things change. Now that's not to give a blank check to young folk. It's not about saying, because I think part of it is about challenging as well, and being able to say to young folk, well, actually, it's not going to happen, and this is the reasons why it's not going to happen. So you can have that dialogue, because life isn't just about getting everything that you want. It is about understanding that there sometimes are boundaries and there are reasons why things cannot happen. But if you don't have that dialogue, then what you end up with is resentment and frustration and young folk turning off. We've got a good vehicle in terms of youth service. I think it does excellent work in terms of providing opportunities for young folk to participate. We need to perhaps do more on the council. I think there's steps in time in terms of getting more MSYPs to be able to attend the Education and Families Committee. I think there's more we could be doing, and I'd like to see more consistent engagement with young folk where they can actually influence decisions. We're going, as a council, to be discussing our budgets for the next year. It would be really good to have a young person's perspective on that, what the young folk think is important. We get that kind of sporadically, and I think sometimes youth work is an easy target because folk don't actually take the time to understand what the value of this. So I think, my hopes for the Year of Young People is that that's better understood. I think things like the big takeover had a huge impact on that week or that weekend. That needs to, how can we sustain that? How can we make sure that that kind of message that brought out about young folk coming together, being able to organise, be able to make things happen, be able to enjoy themselves, adults to be able to see that and be participating. How can we keep that going? So for me as well, somewhat has to be about the council and its partners minding all year about how we actually continue to support and how we stop taking resources away. So that I suppose would be my big hope, that the official Year of Young People isn't at the end but is a beginning of a realisation that young folk have every right to be part of this community, that services should be there for young folk, that they should have an opportunity as well to manage those services, to deliver those services, to be part of the decision making, and to be able to get the help that they need for older people when they need it. So I suppose that's where I would be for.